Happy Mother's Day! My name is Noemie
And I'm Sharnikya Howard.
and we are sister friends.
Yes,
And
indeed.
and we are sharing a little bit about us through this Happy Mother's Day podcast.
We're sharing a lot. It's for the mothers, the aunties, the godmoms, the ones that have a tribe, that are looking for a tribe, that are open to new experiences, that are
Anxious and curious about life.
Yeah, it's for you.
Yep. But we also want you to share your perspective on what we're talking about. So we welcome you along this ride. Happy Mother's Day! People go to therapy to fix them. Therapy's not gonna fix you.
Right.
Therapy's gonna tell you what your problem is and give you the tools for you to fix yourself.
Yep.
The work is not in showing up to the therapy lesson. The work is when you done paid your $100 an hour about 15 times and the bank account is low and it's like, now I gotta do it. You know what I mean? Or that first situation where you have to apply those tools, that first difficult conversation with that person after, your therapy sessions, like how are you moving forward with that?
Right.
And I think that's the misconception.
Yeah.
You know
and
what
so
I mean?
then when it comes to children, just recognizing and owning the fact that there will be something that they need to recover from.
Absolutely.
That happens in their childhood, whether you intentionally or not.
Look outside.
Right.
2023 is crazy.
Right. But even in your home, there'll be something that you did or said didn't say, right, that will impact them in some way. And we talked about it in part one of this episode where you were just accepting your mom and dad for who they were. And same with me, just recognizing that some things happen right, wrong, or indifferent. They needed to happen. They shaped me. Have I laid or sat in someone's chair to talk about? Yes, or Zoomed. To talk about it with a therapist. Absolutely.
Girl, I'm looking at you and I'm not even looking at the camera.
And that's the beauty of life. Just knowing and owning that we're raising these little people and we're doing the best. For those of us that are invested in raising these children, we're doing the best that we can. And they're still probably going to go to therapy. They should.
And even if it's not therapy, I think that we need to try. I'm really careful with my language as well. We need to try to raise not emotionally intelligent, emotionally literate children. Everyone isn't going to know how to handle their feelings, but being able to identify and put a name to how they feel is so important. Emery, for example, I feel sad. Okay, well, sad, that's a really big feeling. How are you feeling? Where is that coming from? Is it about school? Is it about mommy? Is it about daddy? Is it about something going on at home? You know what I mean? And having her work through those emotions, that's practice, because when she's older, she's not going to just have one response to being sad, to being angry. She's going to be able to pinpoint where those things are coming from. And based on me kind of holding her hand through it, she'll be able to do it on her own. You know what I mean?
So I remember when Queenie started identifying the emotions. Honestly, there were some days where I would be like, girl, I don't want to talk about it. Just cry.
I remember I'm angry.
Yeah, I'm angry.
Girl, what happened?
What?
But this is the thing. Emotionally literate, but also a 3-year-old. I mean, we're not about to have a whole 30-minute therapy session about it. Literally could be she don't like that green that you're wearing, and it elicits anger from her spirit and she don't like it. I think that even practicing those emotions, how do you feel today? What can we do to one thing with Emery is I recently taught her hangry. So my baby just doesn't like to eat, man. My little skinny mini baby shaped just like her daddy. But she will not eat, and she cool with it. And I'm like, baby, you're gonna get frustrated. So after she doesn't eat, she'll just be in a bad mood. She'll be crying. And I'm like, baby, you're hangry. She's like, what does that mean? I'm like, it means that you're angry, but it's because you don't have food in your stomach. And we went through that whole hangry, describing what it is. And now she's like, mommy, I think I'm hangry. I'm like, okay, go get you a snack. And she'll come back. She's like, wow, I feel feel better. I was hangry. And it's just like those moments make me so proud. It's like that's one more, emotion, one more tool to your like emotional tool belt that you can recognize that you can self-diagnose. You can be like, you know what? I'm tripping. When was the last time I had a snack? So she'll come to me like, Mommy, I'm hungry. I need a snack. I'm like, okay, let's get a snack. But next time, eat your lunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And no, I love that because that's when it starts, like identifying those emotions and learning how to regulate, which I believe starts then too, or before.
I do.
Much before.
I do.
And it's really important for them to have. And I certainly was not raised to say I'm sad or, no one was asking that. It was, how was your day at school, right? Like that was like, the extent of it. And so I also believe that like these, I think that as a society, a lot of folks, ourselves included as parents, but also teachers and those in academia are really paying attention to the emotions of these young people, and they're preparing them and showing them how to use the tools. And so I think that I hope that at least that generation will probably be like the most emotionally mature.
I already think it's happening. Yeah. It's happening with Gen X.
Girl, I don't even know the Gen anymore.
I think it's happening with Gen X, and like we're seeing it from like the way that they enter the workforce. They are not dealing with the things that, I feel like you never dealt with the things, but they're not dealing with the things that I had to deal with. They're not dealing with the things that my parents had to deal with. They're entering spaces where they feel like they can be their full selves, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm interested to see how it's going to play long term. But what I do see now is you have these organizations that are losing people because they don't feel happy at work. And it's really hard to replace.
The companies don't align with their values.
Exactly. The companies don't have wellness plans built into, you know what I mean? They don't offer, days that like you just might be down. You know what I mean? Like my job before I left, they started, I think you had to be there for a certain number of years, but we had a unlimited leave policy that actually came to play like the week before that I quit, which was great, but it took years. Yeah. It took years. And I feel like by the time they implemented it, I had already felt like it was too late for me. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't enough for me to stay, because you still had to go through a process. You still had to ask for the time. And if you had projects, they can deny it. So it's just like, I think we're moving in the right direction, but I really think the babies, the kids, the younger generation, they're really making it, they're forcing us to take notice. Absolutely. And I cannot wait to see what it looks like with the younger generation. I will share like, the negative things. Like people are always just like, oh, this generation is too sensitive. They can't handle anything. Maybe we handle too much. Maybe we put too much on ourselves as kids.
Or they say like they're entitled. I like it. Entitled people make changes because they hold people to standards.
Right. Don't we want our kids to have better than us?
And I'm not saying go walk around entitled, but there's some goodness to that that comes with that in terms of your character. Like folks who are entitled typically demand the best. They feel like they deserve the best. They want the best for themselves. And so they are more likely to hold politicians and teachers and even parents. Yep.
Like our babies.
Yes, absolutely. So there's some good in that.
I love it. I don't mind. I've always been the type of person that like to be challenged. I always want to be better. And once I feel like I'm in a room where I can't grow, I need to go to another room. I've always been that person. It's just growth. Maybe I just have this weird relationship with growth because I don't think that growth feels good. It never feels good, but I always feel so accomplished after I feel like I've overcome something, I've grown through something. And I think for me, it's not just about me, it's about my babies. Like I'm the mom. Yes. Every woman has a good or bad relationship with their mom. There's no way that you're walking through this earth without having moments that you connect to the women in your life. And it always starts with a mom, a grandma, someone who raised you. And I'm like, even with my mom now, we've had such a crazy relationship growing up, but I'm about to call her as soon as, you know what I mean? Like, that's my girl.
Did you go, like, I went through a period with my mom where I could not stand that lady.
Yeah. I mean, we go through, my mom can't stand me and she'll tell me, you know, but I definitely did go through, we went through our phase where I just felt like she didn't get me. She didn't care to understand me, you know, and that was right before I needed her. Right before I really needed her. And I'm like, I don't got nobody else. I got you, sis. So what's up? What we doing? What we doing? You know, but I think had she not shown up for me in that way, we would not have the relationship that we have now. Like, I feel like motherhood is preparing you for this test that you're going to have. It's one test. How you perform on that one test. Right. You don't know when it's going to show up. You don't know what it's going to be. But I think leading with love, leading with, she can always come to you and get the truth.
Yeah.
I think my mom was like that because I don't know that she got that. You know what I mean? I don't think that my mom felt understood. I think that my mom spent a lot of time, maybe not a lot of time, because if you know her, you know it wasn't a lot of time. But I think she spent some time trying to gain acceptance. But I think once she realized she couldn't get it for herself, she just like, I'm going to just blow it up. And I'm going to just
be me.
I mean, you know my mom. Yes. Like you know, and I just feel like I respect, even though I think she's crazy, I respect her. There's no woman that I respect more than my mom.
Same.
Period.
Same.
Nobody can come for my mom. Nobody can say nothing about my mom. Yes. You know, I just think that she's been an incredible supporter, an incredible, like, she's even learned. Let me know if you've experienced this too. Like, there's a point where your mom has to kind of fall back and be like, oh, she got this.
Yes.
Like with the, do you feel like that's currently happening?
Yes. I feel like, so again, my mom was just kind of not offering a whole lot of advice.
Okay.
You know, once I got to a certain point, she would just kind of ask those questions, drop a little question. But I absolutely think that my mom, after a while, she was just like, this girl's got it. Yeah. Like, I'm not questioning any of her decisions. She's got it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what she did really well with me, which is why I do think I know that I make good decisions for myself and for Queenie.
You do.
Thank you. I think that was validated really early for me. And so I've learned to pray, trust myself, consult counsel, you know, of course, wise counsel.
Yeah.
But but I think that's something that she did extremely well with me, and I know that comes from just knowing your child.
Yeah. I think she knows you very well.
She does.
Even though I think you guys are very different, she knows you well. She knows what she created.
Yeah, she knows. She does. And she can sense when, like, you know, something's off. And she might not, because I'm private in all the, you know, so she's never going to push or probe. But she knows, and she positions herself to be available or to fall back depending on what she senses that I need. So, like, even when I had Queenie, and, you know, I came home from the hospital and it's me and Queenie, and my mom was not overbearing. She was just like, hey, do you want me to come stay with you all? Or what do you want to do? You know, she wasn't like, I'm coming in.
And
I was just like, you know what? I want to spend the first night with her by myself at home. And then you can come. And she came. And she was supposed to stay for 2 weeks. That lady was like, listen.
Yeah, my mom not staying over for 2 weeks.
She did not. She was there about a week.
Yeah.
I don't even know if she made it.
I was about to say, a week is a long time. I'm the opposite because, okay, let me think about it. So, let me rephrase. I was about to say that I would love for my mom to stay for 2 weeks. So I love the idea of having my mom
does everything.
She does, but like she does, but we can't be around each other for that long. So it's just like, I wish I had 2 houses. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to be close, but I don't want her to be there. You know, but my mom's the same. Like, I think that, like, God really either positioned us in a way, or
he gives you the child you need.
But he also gives you the mom that you need.
Yeah, that's sometimes. What I mean. So you were what she needed. Yeah.
Sometimes, because I know a lot of people. It's not lost on me that everybody doesn't have, relationships with their mothers or living mothers in general to build those relationships with. But one thing that I will say is, like, it didn't have to be this way. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it was this way because it takes constant work on my part and on my mom's part. My mom and I are hot and cold. One day we can't stand each other. And she'll tell me, I can't stand you. I hate when you act like this. And it hurts my feelings. Like, you my mom. What you mean you can't stand me? But I just think that, like, I've had to, one, understand and accept things about my mom that she'll never change. There are things that bother me about her. Mm-hmm. I don't always like the way that she talks to me sometimes. I'm still that sensitive little girl. Yes, I was raised by this really strong, independent, witty, nothing bothers me kind of woman, but I'm not that woman. Mm-hmm. Things bother me. You know what I mean? And it may not bother me from everyone, but it bothers me from her. Yeah. Or it bothers me from women that if I were to ever do something wrong and you were like, Noemie, like, I can't believe that, I would be like, wait, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't, I really value her opinion. So when, she's disappointed in something that I say or do, that does hurt my feelings. And there are times where I am in the wrong and I have to apologize. And she also knows her child. I don't like to apologize. I don't like to be wrong. I walk through the way.
Emmy gets it.
Yeah. But I think it mostly comes from, like, I really move around the world from a place of love. So if someone gets the wrong, vibe from me, or if I was rude, like, that's never the opinion that I want someone to have of me. That's why I'm so apologetic when I'm in a bad mood and stuff like that. Like, we're humans, things happen, but, like, I don't like to be misunderstood or misrepresented, because I really do not necessarily want people to like me, but, like I said, come from a place of love and understanding. So, like, when I miss the mark with that, it's disappointing, you know what I mean? And I feel like with my mom, I've missed the mark, with that. I think your mom is like the first girl relationship that you have, the first friendship that you have with another woman. So you're learning how to talk to women through your relationship with your mom, good and bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're learning how to, solve conflict or not solve conflict or avoid conflict with the relationship with your mom. You know what I mean? And I definitely want, at this place in my life, to have more of a friendship with her. Yeah. And I think that me becoming a mom and me, like, I think her seeing the kicks that me and Emery have is like, I gotcha, because she really is a lot. Emery is just like me. Yeah. Yes. She's just like me, and I don't know. I'm really interested to see what that ends up looking like.
So on my end, because my mom is she's the coolest lady. Mm-hmm. At the same time, though,
we gotta wrap soon because I gotta go give.
Okay, she's so cool, and at the same time, though, she, was raised during that time where your mom isn't your best friend either. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's probably that played a role in the type of relationship that we had and continue to have. But I mean, now we cool, we laugh and we joke, but we're not talking about the intimate details, and I'm okay with that. But I think it's beautiful, right? But I believe that me and Queenie will. Yeah. I think it's just, relationships, they grow and they change over time, culturally and generationally. Yeah, everything. And that's just a change that I foresee, for my family, for that lineage, is what mothering and parenting looks like. So we talked about a lot of
stuff. I know. I want to end it on one question though. So kind of going back to, this is therapy. Like, we're going to have a part 3 or part 4. I don't even know how many episodes this is going to be, but I think this is an ongoing conversation. And I think that it touches on so many points, with motherhood, with, individuality, and trying to figure out where you are in this world. When it comes to having, like, those difficult conversations specifically with our kids, how how are we actively going to approach it? And the reason why I ask that is because I've had a couple difficult conversations with Emery, but they're like 5-year-old, 6-year-old appropriate conversations. And, we're kind of living in a world where they don't have to ask you. You know what I mean? They can figure it out on their own. And it's just like, what kind of role do I want to take as a mother in holding her hand through that process? You know what I mean? Do I want to go ahead and figure things out and prep myself for conflict? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel myself getting a little anxious because, we're not sharing, our kids aren't just with us, we're sharing them with the entire world. I don't know what the other kids in her class are going through. I don't know what conversations are happening. Apparently, Emery got married. She has 2 husbands.
Okay.
And they treat her really nice. I was like, what do husbands do? And she's like, they help me on the monkey bars, and if I fall, they'll help me up. But it's just like, think about it, like they're being gentlemen. You know what I mean? Like, girl, I don't know, man. I'm just scared.
Apparently there are folks with 2 husbands now.
Yeah,
for real. It's a whole show.
I think there's somebody in her class with 2 moms, and I'm like, I mean,
we're talking about all the things.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about all the things, and I think.
But to answer your question, you were asking like,
how do we want to lead? Yeah.
I always want to lead with kindness.
Yeah.
As much as possible. No judgment. I want Queenie to feel free and safe with me. And I want her to always know that she is loved and that there is nothing that our relationship can't come back from.
That's key.
Yeah, there'll be times where I am not pleased with a decision. I will be disappointed. That's just going to come with continuing to be a human.
Yep.
But I want her to know that, like, mommy always has her back. And then for me, I really appreciate, the advice that you gave me and the
I don't know what I said,
introspection that it caused, just around like the resilience and the trust that's there, and knowing that and not putting my fears and insecurities and thoughts all on her, and just allowing her to be, and then navigating it, right? So
because it's a never ending.
Just tell her that Aunt Pat and Mr. Hall
and
passed
then be
away,
there for her,
and then be there instead of shielding, because I cannot protect her from everything. She is going to need to go to therapy very likely,
and then guide her through navigating those emotions.
Yep.
Man, motherhood is tough.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. We're gonna end it on that.
But that was good.
That was such that felt like Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
That really felt like
Happy Mother's Day.